Hey there, are you interested about water? Are you a science freak like myself or really interested in like the ancient pieces of water, how it's all like we're starting to learn all these amazing things about water right at this point in time, and I'm just fascinated by all the information coming out. Then this video is for you. Hey, my name is Marie, and I am fascinated by the water around us, have always been my whole life. But I also am, the person who's running this YouTube channel, and I'm so happy that you're here, so excited that we get to meet each other. Please leave me a comment below. I'm always it's so happy. It makes me so happy when we guys interact, because it's like, we're creating this momentum, this new energy in this new earth, and I just absolutely love it. So feel free to drop me a comment. Anyway, back to the water thing, right? So there's so many things that I've learned about water in the last couple years, and even in just last couple of weeks, because things are speeding up so quickly now since we moved into the age of Aquarius, and all the outer planets are slowly changing into their new positioning and new signs, as we know. And we're kind of in this rehearsal period now for a few months that a lot of astrologers talk about. So everything is shifting, changing, all this new information is coming out, and it's like super exciting. So let's start about the origin of water, right? So the origin of water, scientists have already figured out that most water that we have here on Earth is actually not from here. It's way older. Like, think beginning of time older. Think like creation, beginning of creation older. Like at the moment that the universe was created, the cosmos was created in this version, or however, whatever you believe, right? Water was created. And that water is what we have on Earth today. So we have this ancient water with ancient wisdom throughout time, yeah? And if you think about it, it then has the spark of creation, which is within everything that you see, because without water, we can't live, right? Planets that don't have water, they don't have any life, as far as we know, at least, right? So water is in you. It's in every cell of your body. It's in everywhere you look. It's up in the clouds. It's in the ocean. It's in your, your drink. It's everywhere, right? So it has this tremendous amount of wisdom in it. So think about that. All the water in your body carries ancient wisdom. How can you start to tune into that, right? That just blows my mind to begin with, yeah? And then add to the fact that you're made out of stardust. So you're basically an ancient being looking at me right now, another ancient being looking at everything around you, other ancient things, trees, plants, everything, right? The ocean. Now, that's one thing that really fascinates me, and we can talk about that for a long time. But let's move on so we will keep your interest, right? Then you have the actual, the water on our planet. And I don't know if you follow Veda Austin at all. She does amazing work with freezing water and looking at the pictures of the water, yeah? She's following, Masumo Emoto's work, that, he did all these amazing pictures of frozen water pieces, and so she's continuing that work. She talks about water having consciousness, right? Which fits perfectly into the previous image of water coming from the beginning of time, right? So water carrying consciousness, water having intelligence, water carrying information. So the water that we have here on Earth is constantly bringing in new information, new awareness, new consciousness into Earth. So every time you're drinking that cup of water, you're constantly getting new information. Every time you go into the ocean, which by the way is my favorite thing to do, I love being in the ocean, and I'm just such a water baby. It's because we're receiving new information from the ocean. We're getting more new blueprints. Combine that with all the solar flashes and everything that's going on, the KP indexes and so on, the Schumann resonance is increasing, right? Your body is literally being transformed by this new water that's happening. Now, so those are two amazing things, right? Then, if you look within your body, we've been told that there's H2O, right? That's water. It's two hydrogen and one oxygen, and they're combined in that kind of triangle. In our body, it's actually not H2O, it's H3O2, which is called structured water. And that structured water is performing amazing functions in our body. So we're starting to realize, like, things like, we thought that the heart was the thing that was pumping around our blood in our body. It's now starting to look like it's that structured water that's actually pushing things around in our body. It's the structured water that is focusing on, you know, bringing the nutrition into our cells, pushing into our organs, and so on and so forth. So that's structured water, which is somewhere in between like a liquid and a frozen, which is exactly Veda Austin's sweet spot. That's where she's looking at things exactly as they're freezing, right? And if you look at the atoms, then they start to create this kind of interesting structure that becomes very a carrier of information, should we say, yeah? So that relates back to what I said before, right? So water being information. So you basically have water in your body that's carrying information into all of your cells, which is like, isn't that fascinating, right? It's just, I just find it unbelievable. Anyway, so with those three things in mind, there's so much more we can talk about water. But what I want to instill on you, and which I also made a short video about, is start to use that to your advantage, as water is so amazing. Start to communicate with water. Start to put your intention into water. And I have suggested, you know, take a cup of water in the morning and breathe in your intention. Talk to the water. Meditate over the water. Put gratitude and love into the water. Prayer into the water. And definitely see, when you then start to take that cup and drink over the next 30 minutes or so, sit with that, continue that on for, let's say we do a 30-day challenge with that. Wouldn't that be fun, huh? And then we start to see how our lives change according to the information that we put into the water. But I would also take that even one step further and say, what can you receive from the wisdom of the water that's already in you, right? So the cup is like you're putting information in it. But what can you receive from the water that's in you? How can you tune into that ancient water in you and see what you can get, what kind of information you can get? Meditate on that for a while, right? See if the water wants to talk to you about ancient history, about where you're from, about all this really crazy stuff, right? I think we're just scratching the surface. As we're entering into this new birth of, you know, new humanity, we're just scratching the surface of how much we're going to be able to learn about water, how we're going to be able to interact with water. And yeah, I'm just super excited. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Namaste.